Hello, this is a presentation for the Introduction to Restorative Dental Ceramic course 1215. I just want, first of all, to tell you that this is actually in-person course. It's not online, it's not hybrid, it's not HyFlex. So all the lectures and the labs gonna take in place in person, okay? Now, there is a component of online through the Blackboard where we have all the course materials for the lecture. So if you go to the Blackboard, you can see that we have the announcements. Every time I need to communicate something with you, most likely will be through the announcements. The syllabus and the schedule. If you click on it, you're going to find the syllabus, the schedule for the class, also the academic calendar, which is very useful for you to see the dates when you have to register for the next semester and stuff like this. And weekly learning modules. So each week we're going to have a module or like a lesson plan. And if you click on it, you can see that there are presentations and also different type of other instructional materials that you can, read and also look at it and read them. So I have videos in here that you can see that will help you actually understand better the course materials. So excuse me, there is a lot to see and to go through everything, but I think it's helpful. Also in the books, so our books are Air Force Manual, the Naylor Introduction to Ceramic Technology, and also you can find this book in the library. Articles, we have articles that are posted in the Blackboard if you want to read about specific topics that we cover in the lectures. Web links also that it's important for you to see, and sometimes you kind of want to see how this profession is viewed in the general dental community. So all these articles and web links, it's kind of help you to have an idea about your career. So if we go back to the weekly learning modules, we're gonna have also we're gonna see here the schedule for the examinations for the lecture class. So we're gonna talk a little more about this when we when I'm gonna present the syllabus. So right now I'm gonna go back and we're gonna look at the syllabus and kind of go over a little bit. So the course description. This course is an introduction to the theory and techniques related to the fabrication of ceramic and ceramic metal dental restoration, which may include porcelain fused to metal crowns, milled zirconia restorations, and pressable or ceramic restorations. Laboratory techniques will include infection control procedures as related to dental ceramics, and metal substructure designs and fabrication, pressing techniques, porcelain build-up, firing, contouring, finishing, staining, glazing, and polishing to accuracy. During the summer externship, students will be placed in a doctor's office or dental lab to gain real-world exposure to the dental technology profession. This course, it has 4 credits, and this course is unique because it has 3 components. The laboratory, the lecture and the summer externship. So for the laboratory, there are going to be 6 laboratory hours per week, one lecture hour per week, and summer externship is 24 hours in the summer, especially during the June-July time. So the textbooks, we talk about the Air Force, Volume 1 and Volume 2, Introduction to Metal Ceramic Technology by Naylor, Phillips Science of Dental Materials. This book you should have downloaded from last semester when you took the Introduction to Non-Metallic Dental Materials, and Color Atlas, Basic Techniques for Metal Ceramic, an Introduction to Ceramic Techniques by Yamamoto. And those books, the Mailer and Yamamoto, you can find them in the library. There are a few copies in there if you want to actually see the book. In terms of the policies, so in this course, we observe the CUNY, the City Tech, and the department policies, okay? So we were talking about academic integrity and the restorative dentistry policies, okay? So it's very important that you read and understand all these policies because this is guiding you through your academic success. And these are viable for all courses that you take, not only in our department, but if you take general education courses, the same policies apply there too, with the exception, of course, of our department policies, okay? So please spend a little bit of time reading those policies. In terms of the attendance, I strongly encourage you to attend all lectures in person and also all laboratory session in person. And why am I saying this? Because during the lectures, we might have discussions, we might have presentations that are related, collateral with the topic that we talk about. So I always instruct my students to bring a notebook, or if you guys like to bring a tablet or a laptop to take notes, please make sure you have something to take notes, because sometimes I bring examples from my experience, or maybe I'll read an article that I find very interesting and I'll share the information with you. So it's extra instructional material that I can, maybe come up with, and it's good for you to have the ability to take notes. In terms of the lab, there are quite a few projects that you have to do, and I strongly encourage you to participate in the laboratory, be on time, and also just do the work. I know sometimes it can be tiring, and especially towards the end of the semester, where you have a lot of classes going on, a lot of projects to finish. It's going to be stressful and demanding, but if you follow the deadlines for each project in the lab, you should be okay. If you leave everything and you procrastinate and you leave everything towards the end, that can have an impact on your grade. Why? Because sometimes when we rush, excuse me, we make mistakes, and also we don't do a good job because we rush to finish. So we don't pay attention to the details. And usually when your instructor it's grading you, they looking at the small details that they teach you in during the lab sessions. Okay, so make sure you attend all the lectures and the laboratory session in person. Okay, the grading. The grading it's also very important because this is what you're working for, right? We're working to have a good grade, not only a passing grade. So make sure that you put an effort to study. You can have like a small study group with some of your classmates and kind of discuss some of the topics that are coming up in the either for the lecture examination or for the lab projects. You can also find a mentor in the second year students. So find somebody who already took, another student who already took this class, and they can help you if you need more assistance. Of course, your instructor should be, available for you if you need extra tutoring. So make sure you ask help if you need help. The same for the lecture. If you need an extra time for the lecture, if it's something that you don't understand, please let me know and we can work something out, okay? So in terms of the grading, you have to maintain a 70% for each portion of this course. So 70% for the lecture, 70% for the laboratory, and 70% for the externship. And this is what's unique about this course. This is the only course in this program that has three components, okay? So you have to pass all these three components with a 70% to successfully complete and pass the course, okay? If you fail one of the components, let's say if you fail the lecture, or you fail the lab, or you fail the externship, you're not going to pass the course, okay? So you will have to take it one more time. If you don't pass it the second time, then unfortunately, we can keep you in the program. So make sure that you understand what's required of you and that you do the work necessary to be successful. And ask for help anytime you need help. Ask for help. We are there. All the instructors are there to help you. Okay. In terms of the grading scale, we comply with the college grading scale. So we have grades starting from 100% to, you know, 59.9, which is F and below. So each percentage correspond with the letter grade, okay? And your final grade for this course is going to reflect both the percentage and also the letter grade. Satisfactory progress. Satisfactory progress means that you maintain at least a 2.0 GPA, okay? Otherwise, you're going to be put in academic probation, which means that you will have, for the other courses that you're taking, you will have to take a higher, to have a higher grade to bring your GPA higher, okay? So that's why it's important to always review your grade, always make sure you understand the material, you understand what you need to do in the labs for the project so you get a good grade, okay? Because you don't want to be in that category where your GPA falls under 2.0, okay? Professionalism and ethics. So and this is something that it's a policy not only for CUNY and City Tech, but also for our department. So please conduct yourself in a professional manner. Be respectful of your classmates, your instructors, and also all the faculty and everybody else who you come in contact in the school. Make sure you're polite with everybody. Make sure if you ask for something, uh, don't be demanding. If it's something that can be done right away, that's fine. If it's something that requires for you to wait a little bit, don't be impatient. So be professional. And this is something that we try to build because we are in the healthcare profession. So one of our main goals is to have an ethical um, approach to our profession. Okay, we working with patients, we working with dentists, we working with other dental professionals, and the ethics we adhere to, it's part of the American Dental Association ethical and moral standards. So please keep that in mind. Please be respectful. Please be polite. Please be patient. Those are kind of like the basics, okay? In terms of the um, dress and the textbooks and everything else. So when you come into the classroom, right? So I said for the lab, if you coming into the lab, please come on time. Bring all your tools necessary for that day to do your projects. Please bring your lab coat, a clean lab coat. Okay, if you see after a few weeks that your lab coat is dirty, make sure you clean up your lab coat and bring it back clean. And why I'm saying this is because sometimes we have visitors from either the college or from other departments or outside visitors from the dental community. When they come and they see us and they see us with dirty lab coats and the labs are messy and dirty, it doesn't look good. Okay, so we try to maintain a reputation, and also we try to be safe and healthy. Okay, being clean, that means we are healthy. Okay, so make sure you come to the class prepared to work. um, Ladies, if you have, or gentlemen, if you have long hair, please make sure you tied up your hair. Jewelries, always take it off and put it in a safe place. um, Cell phones, please don't use the cell phones to play music or stuff like this. Pay attention to what's going on in the classroom. That's why you're there. You paying for your education, so make the most of it. Okay. No open toe shoes, especially that we're using different type of materials that can produce, accidents. So make sure you have shoes that covers your toes. Um, and like I said, be nice and be prepared to work in every lab sessions. Okay. Health and safety. So there is no drinking and eating in the laboratory. If you need to eat something, if you need to drink something, please take a 5-10 minutes break from the classroom and go have something to eat and come back. Don't make this as, every half an hour I'm taking a 10 minutes break. Okay, so be mindful that you have a lot of projects to do and the time goes fast. So um, time management is very important, so be aware of that. Okay, also um, if you're going to do a lot of waxing in your classes, in your laboratories, so when you leave your bench, if you have a Bunsen burner turn on, please make sure it's turned off because we don't want to start a fire. I strongly recommend you to have like a placemat. Some people, they like to use a piece of paper or something like a towel or something like this. Okay, that's good, but those are flammable materials. So you want something that it's a little bit stronger. Make sure when you bring the stuff to your class, your tools, your work that you're working on, um, it's organized. Okay, don't bring everything and take out everything from your toolbox. Just take out the instruments that you need for that procedures and the cast that you need for that procedure. Try to keep your bench neat and clean. Don't clutter stuff in there because sometimes it's hard to find stuff. We working with small pieces and it's very easy to misplace them or to lose them if our bench is a mess. Okay, so another thing that I want to kind of give you an advice on is that if you learn those good habits and they become your routine to be organized and to be clean, and what I mean by clean, I mean you finish a procedure, you clean up, you disinfect everything that you work in before. And keep in mind, why is that important? Because when we start working in real life, we're dealing with patients and we're dealing with stuff that was in the patient's mouth. So we don't want cross-contamination. So that's very important for us to understand that those good habits that we're learning, it's kind of protecting us for not only become sick, but also transfer some of the viruses or some of the uh, blood pathogens from one case to another. Okay, so that's cross-contamination. So we have to be aware of this. Um, in addition, when you're going to go for a job interview and they're going to ask you to do a try-in, they're going to observe you. They're going to set you down at a bench and they're going to observe what you're doing. So if they see that you're nice and you clean and you organize, even though maybe your skills are not, 100% there, they're going to be very impressed by you and they might hire you. If you're a good person and you do a beautiful job, but you're messy, it's everywhere, it's, all your instruments are everywhere and you can't find this and you can't find that, they might say, okay, I like your work, but I'll keep in mind if I want to hire you or not. So learn the good habits to become your routine, and that's going to help in the long run, because this is what you're going to do every day when you're going to be a dental laboratory technician. For the online, like I said, this course, it's not offered online, it's in person. But like I presented before, all the course materials and more are posted in the Blackboard. And that's the online component. And that's kind of help you to um, have access to the course materials anytime um, you want to review them, okay? What are the learning outcomes for the course? Upon successful completion of the course, each student should be able to describe the principles and methods of preventing disease transmission and cross-contamination during the fabrication of ceramic restorations, fabricate fixed ceramic restoration in accordance with the given prescription or digital prescription, prepare and evaluate cast with removable dies. Every student is going to receive a 3D printed cast, and students will need to trim, ditch dies, and mark the margin utilizing magnification. Articulate the case, design, develop, and wax substructure or the framework patterns for all ceramic pressable restoration utilizing magnification, process patterns or, transforming the wax pattern into the all ceramic materials by using the spluing, investing, burnout, casting, or pressing procedures. Sit or feed the restoration after retrieving from pressing, utilizing magnification. Prepare the framework to receive porcelain. Apply and fire dentin and enamel porcelain. Contour, fired porcelain. Perform optical external characterization, staining and glazing to match the shade guide. Finish and polishing porcelain and non-porcelain bearing surfaces utilizing magnification. Fabricate the foil matrix for a porcelain complete jacket crown. Demonstrate safe handling of all equipment associated with ceramic restoration. Meet all the responsibility assigned for the summer externship site. Each externship site will conduct a detailed evaluation of participating students' performance. Each student will submit an essay documenting his or her experience and activities and complete the externship student survey by no later than August 1st, 2024. It's not 2023, it's a mistake there, okay? So those are the goals of the course. In terms of the evaluations, so for the lecture, the final grade for this course, it's of course composed from three major grades. The lecture grade is 40% of the final grade. The summer externship, it's 10% of the final grade. The laboratory is 50% of the final grade for this course. So each component has a certain percentage of the grade that goes into the final grade for the course. Okay. In terms of the lectures, so this is how the lecture it's divided in terms of exams and assessments. So we have a quiz that's going to be in person, and it counts for 15% of the grade from the lecture. Midterm in person, 30% of the lecture grade. Final in person, 30% of the lecture grade. In addition, we have quite a few assessments. All the assessments, they're going to be online because it's easy for you to do it. And they're going to be graded online. The quiz, the midterm, and the final, they're going to be in person in the classroom. So for the assessment, each assessment is going to be open in the Blackboard each week. So you have a few days to complete each assessment, and each assessment counts for 2% of the lecture grade, except for the cumulative assessment, which counts for 5%. And why this is a little bit more in terms of the weight of the grade, because the cumulative assessment, it's a very lengthy assessment, and I don't want to scare you. There are about 300 questions, and the idea of having this assessment is that to prepare you for the RG exam. When you're going to take the RG exam after you're in your graduation, you're gonna the RG exam is given by a third party, so it's not given by us, but the setting it's kind of the same. So you're gonna have quite a few hundreds of questions to answer in a certain amount of time. So this cumulative assessment, it kind of helps you to time yourself and to be ready for that kind of setting of an exam that it was going to be given to you by a third party. So failure to complete the online assessments will count as an absence, and students who do not complete the externship program, including the externship assessments by August 1st, will not pass this course, regardless of the grades obtained in the lecture and laboratory session. And we talk about this. Failure to pass any of the course sections implies failure of the course. This is the laboratory grading for the project. So you can see we have quite a few projects. You're going to do some model work. You're going to do the wax patterns, spruing and investing, pressing, finishing the copings and full contour. For number 14, application of porcelain, contouring, shaping, staining, and finishing, and the foil matrix for the jacket crown. So there are quite a few projects to do, and that's why I said be on time and try to attend all the laboratory session. If you need extra time for this, some of the stuff you can take it home. Some of the, if you do a wax up, maybe you can take your wax up home and, work on the wax up home and bring it back to school. But if you need extra help, you can ask any other instructor to help you if they are available and they have space in their classroom. Make sure you're polite when you ask for help, okay? This is a more detailed presentation of the course outline. So this is what we're gonna present in each lecture by the topics, and you can read through them at your leisure. Also, very important, I made this schedule, and this is a tentative schedule, what you see here. So for each lecture, I describe in there the topics that we're going to present, and also the reading assessments, where you can find that information, okay? So make sure, you can either go on the Blackboard, or if you want, you can download my PowerPoint presentations. If you want, you can find in the textbooks the pages where I took that information in my presentations. Also, the schedule indicates the due date for each assessment, where is each assessment can be found. So as you can see, each assessment has a due date, and also they're posted in the Blackboard. Okay. The first quiz is going to take place in person during the lecture 5, so it's going to be the whole period, the whole time, on February 27th. Then on April 2nd, we're going to have the midterm. Again, it's going to be in person, one lecture class. And the final, it's going to take place on May 21st, again in person, one lecture class. Okay. So make sure for this date you come prepared for the examination, and you're ready to do it in a timely manner. Usually there are about 40 or 50 questions for each exam, and they're multiple choice questions, so you should have no problem with that. Also, we're gonna have a review before each major exams. We're gonna have a reviewing class, okay? Um, I want to talk a little bit about the externship program and how this works. So for the externship program, um, this is, like the title said, summer externship program. So this activity, it's a place-based activity which has the purpose to enhance your experience. So kind of put you in contact with the reality. When you finish this program and you go to work, how your career, how your life is going to be. So you're going to come in contact with different dental professionals, dental technicians, experienced dental technicians. Some of them, they graduated this program, so they can, um, make you a little more at ease, I think. May come in contact with dentists, with, like I said, different professionals. So make sure you're respectful, make sure you represent well our school and our department, um, because we don't want to hear bad things. Everything comes back to us, okay? So make sure you're polite, make sure you're respectful, make sure you're there on time. Make sure when you're there and you see somebody it's busy, don't interrupt them, but ask politely if they can show you some procedures maybe you're interested in. So in general, we send you to those externship sites to observe and maybe do little tasks. Maybe they might ask you to pour an impression, or maybe they might ask you to mount a case or do a little wax up or work on CAD/CAM. Those are the things that some of the students in the past did during their externship program, which enhances their expectations from when they graduate, because now they see the value of what they're learning in school apply in real life. So that's kind of like aha moment when you discover how good you are based on what you learn in the school. Maybe you'll be a little bit slow, that's expected because you're just beginner, but you have the knowledge, and that's what counts. So make sure that during the externship period, you're there on time, you're dressed professionally. So don't go in there, ladies, with short skirts and all that fun stuff. I'm not saying dress to the nines, but dress like you're going to work in a respectful manner. Okay. I'll explain to you later on why is that important. So let's talk about a little bit the externship program, how this take place. So the first step is for you to take the eSpark training, complete the eSpark training, which is offered in Blackboard under my organization. So do this as soon as possible and obtain your certificate. Once you have your certificate, please email me a copy of your certificate so I have it in my records. If you don't do the training, I cannot send you anywhere. So therefore, it's automatically failing the course, okay? So the training, it's a requirement from the City Tech and the CUNY because you're going outside the classroom. So we have to be trained in the sexual harassment training, okay? So do that as soon as possible and email me a copy of your certificate. Then what I like to do, I like to ask you guys your preferences. What I mean by that? Well, I have a form that I go and I ask the students where they live. I don't need to know your exact address. I just need to know your borough. Maybe you live in Queens or Brooklyn or Staten Island or New Jersey, maybe in another state. And I'll explain to you why I need this. Also, the mode of transportation, what you prefer to use. Are you like to use public transportation? Are you taking, you like to drive? How you go about, okay, to your work, to your school, which modality of transportation are you using more often? And also, where would you like to go? What borough? So let's say if you live in Staten Island, maybe you want to go to an externship site in Staten Island. Now, maybe you live in Staten Island, but you work a few days a week in the city, and maybe it's easy for you to complete a day in the city, and you can say, I live in Staten Island, but I would prefer something in the city. So as soon as I have your preferences, I kind of uh, ask you to do this because I kind of want to match it, with the externship sites that I have. So, keep in mind, I'll do my best to keep your preferences, but it's not always going to happen. And why I say that, usually, when I start asking the externship sites if they want to participate, and this is every year, I'm asking them again if they want to participate. Some of them, they might say yes. Some of them, they might say, I'm sorry, this time we're very busy. We can accommodate your student. So also, sometimes I may have a lot of students that they want an externship site in Brooklyn, and probably I have just a few externships participants in Brooklyn. And some of them, they might say, okay, I'll take one student this time. Some of them, they might say, I'll take five. So depending on their availability, also it's a big factor in how I take in consideration your preferences. But in general, I'm kind of trying to pair you up based on your preferences. Also keep in mind that might not happen. So um, as much as possible, we can work it out between us if something else available, if it's not something that you really desired in the beginning. So once I have the externship site participation, then I will send you a letter based on your preferences with the externship site, their contact information, and the person who you should contact to make arrangements for externship. So I don't do the arrangements for your externship. This is something that you do. Why? First of all, because I don't know your summer schedule. Some of you might work during the summer. Some of you might have different family obligations or whatever the case might be. So that I don't know. And also, I don't know the externship site's availability. So you might be available to start your externship site at the end of May, let's say May 25th. And you can say, okay, I'm calling the externship site for May 25th. And they might say, okay, you can come May 25th, 26th, 27th, and you're done, 8 hours a day. Or they might say, I'm sorry, I can accommodate you mid-July. Okay, So the arrangements are done between you and them based on their availability. Don't forget one thing, they kind of do us a favor. They take in time from their busy days, and don't forget they're a business. They're in the business of making money. So to take time away from that and to kind of accommodate our students, it's very important for us, right? So we kind of be mindful of their schedule and the timing. Also, keep in mind that this is not a paid internship, so you don't get paid for this. But what you get out of it is the connection that you make with, you know, um, the professionals. Many of the students that attend the externship program, they get offered jobs, even part-time jobs, or they might say, you know what, I really like you. You can come part-time now, and once you graduated, I hire you full-time. So this is a great advantage, and that's why I'm saying when you go there, be professional, be respectful, be willing to learn. Okay. Um, just to give you an example from past externships, I have many students that they actually got hired to work part-time. So now they graduating and they moving in to be a full-time at that facility. So that's they don't have to worry about, oh, I need to find a job, I have to go to interviews and stuff like this. So be aware of that. So once you finish your externship, the externship date should be the last day should be July 15, 2024. By that day, you should have the 24 hours completed. Now, when I said 24 hours, doesn't mean you have to do 24 hours in one setting. So when you do the arrangements for your externship, it could be you may do 3 days, 8 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or depending on, like I said, how busy they are, they might say, I can accommodate you every other Monday. 4 hours a day until you complete the 24 hours. So be flexible with their schedule. Okay, that's why I said don't make big plans, vacation plans for the summer because you're going to be busy with the externship program. So once you finish the externship program, you'll have two assessments to do uh, to be graded for this program. Okay, because I have to know what did you learn in this experience? Did you learn anything? Did you like it? What did you do there? I'm not going to be there with you to see what's going on. So you have to write a report and let me know how your externship went. What did you do during the externship? Did you do wax up? Did you do CAD cam? Did you observe who you talk to, who you make friends with? They were nice with you. What did you learn from them? So all this stuff, it should be in your extension report. Another component of the grade for the externship, it's a survey. So you have to do a short survey. It's about 8 questions that ask you if you went to the externship, who did you meet there, did you like it, what did you do, you have any feedback for us to improve the externship program, stuff like this. So once I get your report and your survey, which are due August 1st, 2024, then I'm going to grade them and send the grades to the registrar office. So when you're going to finish the semester in May, your grade that you're going to see for this class is going to be a weird letter, like a Z, like a Y, something weird. And you're going to be like, this is not a grading letter, right? So that letter is given to you by the register office because you didn't complete yet the course, because we have the externship program. Once I put the grades in for the externship program, then your grade is going to be transformed to whatever your grade may be, an A, a B, a C, whatever, okay? So another important thing that I want to mention, let's say you finish your internship um, by let's say June 15. You finish your externship and you finish your assessments, everything was submitted, I graded, you good, okay? Now, I have other students that it's August 1st and they're still working on their assessments for the externship. I cannot send the grades for all students to the register until the last student finish all the assessments and it's graded. So if one student doesn't finish this, it holds back the whole class. I cannot submit the grades to the register one by one. They're gonna be submitted by the class, by the roster, okay? So keep that in mind. That's why there are the due dates. Keep those due dates. So, why is that important? Because once I submit the grades to the register, the office, you can register for the fall semester. Until then, you're in the limbo. Yeah, you might happen to get that class, but if you fail the course, the externship program, you fail the course, that means you're not registering for that. So keep this in mind and do the assessments and meet all the deadlines, okay? Another important thing that takes place with the externship is that during the summer, after every student finished their externship, I send out surveys to the externship sites to evaluate you. So they say, okay, did the student show up? What the student did? Did they learn something? How they present themselves? Are there, respectful, pleasurable people? Okay. So from this feedback that I get, and they're very honest, majority, all of them that I got the surveys back from the externship side, they're very honest. They told me when the students dress up inappropriately. They told me when the students were in the classroom, in the laboratory, and instead of paying attention to what the technician was explaining to them, they were playing videos and music on their phones. Very, very disrespectful. So we get all this back, okay? And that doesn't look good because we ask them to do this favor for us, and then we go over there and we don't care about their time and their efforts to help us. So be mindful of this. I get everything back from them. And also, once we're done with the externship program, I write the report about how the externship program took place during that year, what are the accomplishments, if the goals were achieved, how the student did, and this based on the survey from the externship sites, I present what their evaluation of our students is. And this report that I'm writing stays in the restorative dentistry program, is recorded in there, and it's presented when when we go through accreditation program from the Commission of Dental Accreditation. So it's uh, um, presented, and they look very closely at all the things that I put in the report, and also the report is presented at the NGS meeting, where all the doctors and the lab technicians, the lab owners that are who's who in the industry, they they read this report, so they get exposed with what we're doing with the extension program. So be aware of that. Um, in terms of the grade for the externship program, the report it counts for 80% of the grade for the externship, and the survey it's 10%. All right. I recommend you to write your report on a Word document. Write it at academic level, okay? Like you write an essay for an English class, okay? And then copy paste it in the Blackboard. Very important. If you paraphrase, or if you take a quote from an article or from my presentations or from somewhere, make sure you put the last page of your report has to be the bibliography or references or works cited. Okay, if you don't give credit to the person that you took the quote from, that means you plagiarized. Okay, City Tech, CUNY, and our department have a strong policy against plagiarism, and you can be thrown out of the CUNY. Not only the college or the department, CUNY. You cannot go to any other CUNY college if you throw out from this program based on plagiarism. So this is very important. Just write a page at the end. Maybe there are one or two paragraphs. This is from this article, and if you have trouble with how you should cite something, you can always email me and I'll show you how to do it. Okay. So of course during the summer we're not gonna meet unless we need to. So if you have any concerns or questions, you can reach me through my email. If you really want to meet, we can set up a Zoom meeting or Collaborate Ultra through the Blackboard. So we can always be in contact. We're not going to be strangers during the summer, okay? So you're going to be tied together. I'm going to work during the summer, you're going to work during the summer, and we're all going to be successful. The last thing that I want to show you is also the grading criteria for the report. So just take a look at it. So when you're ready to write your report, you know what I'm looking at when I'm grading it. And also in the Blackboard, there are samples of past externship program reports from students that I found very interesting and very well written. So take a look at that. That being said, this is a short presentation of the introduction to restorative dental ceramic course. We're gonna talk a little more about this in our lectures, and I just want to welcome you to this course, and I'm looking forward to have a great, successful semester together. Thank you.